I was in complete shock as I entered the bedroom, my eyes immediately locking onto my unfaithful wife tangled in bed with another man. My blood boiled and I shouted, "That's it, you bastard, you're done." Without a second thought, I sprang into action, using a combat move to grab him by the throat. His face drained of color, his eyes wide with fear, and he struggled to breathe. But my focus was clear. He was weak, pathetic, and I could feel him losing strength as I tightened my grip. Then, through the haze of fury, I heard her scream, "Oh God, you're going to kill him." But her voice only fueled my anger, and I didn't let go. But suddenly, crack, the sharp pain exploded in my skull, and my grip faltered. I staggered and the world spun. My wife had hit me. She had taken a stool and slammed it into my head to protect the man she was cheating with. I collapsed, barely conscious, but I could still see the terror in her eyes. She thought she had won, that this was over. But in that instant, something shifted inside me. I wasn't done. I wasn't finished. And I knew as my body hit the floor that a different kind of rage was about to take hold. I lay there, the pain still pulsing in my head, but my mind was sharp, clear. Natalie hovered over me, the broken stool still in her hand, her lover gasping for air beside her. He was recovering from my grip, but his hands were still rubbing his throat where I had nearly choked the life out of him. She had saved him, but that was the last mistake she'd ever make. I took a slow breath, pretending to still be dazed, letting my heartbeat slow. Patience, control, strategy. Natalie was beside herself, whispering apologies to the man. "Baby, are you okay? I didn't mean for him to..." "Baby." She called him that in front of me. Her words sent a fresh wave of anger through me, but I forced myself to remain still. There was no satisfaction in acting out of impulse, not yet. The bastard finally spoke, his voice thin and desperate. "What the hell, man? You could have killed me." I wanted to laugh. He had no idea how little I cared about him. My attention was focused entirely on Natalie. I slowly pushed myself up, wincing at the pain in my head, brushing off my shirt. My voice was eerily calm, steady. "Because, darling," I said, locking eyes with her, "you just made the biggest mistake of your life." Her lover shifted uncomfortably, but I ignored him. My eyes never left her. "You think you've won, Natalie? You think you can humiliate me, hit me, and just walk away from this?" I could see the slightest hesitation in her eyes, doubt. She thought I would beg. She thought I would cry. Instead, I was calm, and that scared her. "You'll regret this," I whispered, my voice low as I took slow steps back toward the door. "Both of you will." She scoffed, dismissing me. "Oh, stop being dramatic." I didn't respond. I didn't need to. I turned, walking out of the bedroom, but not in defeat, not in weakness. I walked out because my revenge was just beginning. I left the bedroom, but this wasn't the end, not by a long shot. Natalie thought she had the upper hand. She thought she had won. That was her first mistake. The second? She had no idea what I was capable of. The next 2 days passed in eerie silence. No arguments, no fights, no confrontations. Just cold, calculated patience. Natalie seemed relieved at first, thinking I was too stunned to retaliate. She was wrong. She went about her routine as if nothing had happened, laughing on the phone with her lover as if nothing had shattered our marriage. But I wasn't idle. While she played her games, I was making my move. I set the plan in motion, installing hidden cameras around the house. In the bedroom, living room, kitchen, and even her car. Natalie had grown careless. She thought she had already won, and so she stopped hiding her actions. That was her third mistake. In less than 48 hours, I had it all: videos, messages, even a recorded phone call where she laughed about me being a weak, helpless fool. She had no idea what was coming. Natalie had always been reckless with money, relying on my paycheck for her lavish lifestyle. She never paid attention to our joint accounts. While she was distracted with her lover, I quietly transferred my assets into a private account. I canceled her credit cards and spoke to a divorce lawyer. Within hours, she went from living a life of comfort to being completely broke, and she didn't even know it yet. This wasn't just about getting back at her. It was about destroying the image she had so carefully crafted. Natalie thrived on attention, on being admired by her friends, family, and coworkers. They all thought she was a perfect wife. That illusion was about to be shattered. I made sure the evidence reached everyone, her family, her closest friends, and even her boss. By the time I was done, she wouldn't just lose me. She would lose everything. After everything was in place, I took a step back and waited for her reaction. It didn't take long for the storm to hit. The moment Natalie discovered her credit cards were declined, she stormed into the house, furious. "What the hell is going on?" she yelled, waving her phone in front of me. "Why are my accounts empty? Why is my family calling me?" I watched her, leaning back in my chair, taking quiet satisfaction in her panic. Slowly, I slid my phone across the table toward her. She grabbed it, her hands trembling as she looked at the messages, the videos, the reactions from her friends and family. Her face drained of color. I stood, towering over her, my voice cold. "Final. You thought I would just let this go?" I asked calmly. "You thought I would just stand by while you humiliated me?" She opened her mouth, but no words came out. I leaned in closer, my voice dropping to a whisper. "This is just the beginning." She didn't realize it yet, but her nightmare was just beginning. For a full minute, she stood there frozen, her phone still in her hands, her fingers hovering over the screen, her eyes wide. She looked like a woman who had just seen everything she'd ever cared about vanish in an instant. In a way, she had. I turned and walked past her, heading for the hallway, refusing to give her the satisfaction of a response. Wait, we can talk, we can fix this," she stammered, trailing behind me. Now she wanted to talk. Now that she'd been exposed, discarded, humiliated. I stopped and glanced back at her. "There's nothing to fix. You're not sorry. You're just sorry you got caught." It didn't take long for everything she'd built to crumble. Her family disowned her. Her friends cut ties. Her boss fired her the same day, and it turned out companies don't appreciate their public figures being exposed in compromising videos. The man she cheated with? He ghosted her as soon as the dust settled. She sent him desperate texts, made calls, begged him, but he never replied. I know because I cloned her phone and saw everything. She even tried to visit him once. I had footage of him slamming the door in her face. My final move came the next morning when I filed for divorce. I signed the papers without hesitation, and when Natalie received them the next day, she stormed back to the house, shouting, "You can't do this. I'm entitled to." I cut her off, standing in the doorway. "You don't have a job, you don't have friends, and after everything you've done, you don't have a leg to stand on in court." I handed her a small folder. Inside were documents proving her infidelity, her lover's criminal record, and her reckless spending, all meticulously time-stamped. "This is what I'll be showing the judge," I said coldly. "You can leave quietly, or I bury you." She fell silent. She knew she had no leverage left. 2 weeks later, I received a text from her. "Please, I have nothing. I messed up. Just talk to me." That part of my life was over. I didn't reply. Instead, I poured myself a drink and sat back, watching the footage one last time. Not to relive the pain, but to remind myself of what happens when you let someone walk all over you, and how satisfying it is to take everything back. Weeks turned into months. Natalie tried everything, calling from unknown numbers, sending emails under fake names, even showing up at my new job. Security had to escort her out. The last time I saw her, she looked like a ghost of the woman I once knew. Sunken eyes, unkempt hair, constantly looking over her shoulder as if the world was closing in on her. She wasn't wrong. The videos, the evidence, the bridges she had burned, none of it would ever fade. Her reputation was destroyed. She moved back in with her mother. No job, no friends, no one willing to get near her. Even those who once envied our perfect life stopped pretending. I moved forward slowly, deliberately. Therapy helped me clear the wreckage she left behind. A better job offer came my way. Felt like a clean slate. A new city, a new life. For the first time in a long time, I enjoyed my own company again. I didn't date immediately. I didn't need to. For the first time in years, I was living without walking on eggshells. Every step I took was mine. A year after the divorce, I received a message from an unknown number. I still think about you every day. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness, but I wanted to say I'm sorry for everything. I read it, sat with it for a moment, and then deleted it. No response. No anger. No pity. She didn't deserve the last word. Revenge didn't fix everything. It didn't erase the betrayal or the pain, but it gave me back my power. It sent a loud, clear message to her and to myself that actions have consequences. And it reminded me that no matter how deep someone cuts you, you don't have to bleed forever. Sometimes you get to stitch the wound closed and then hand the knife back to them. Was this revenge justified? Or did it go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think. And if you enjoy jaw-dropping revenge stories, be sure to hit that subscribe button and smash the like. Every like, share, and subscription helps us keep bringing you the stories you crave. Your support truly means the world to us.